What's going on to the AMC stock family? In today's video, we have another good one because we have news coming from a certified financial advisor, or in other words, a CFA, and this was made just 4 days ago. We have some extremely relevant news coming in with millions upon millions of dollars for AMC, and why Citadel right now, they may just be in the preparing stage just because of how bullish everything seems for AMC, because this week and the next week and what is to come for AMC in the future, as I just mentioned, as time goes on, AMC stock, in my opinion, will get even more bullish. And this certified financial advisor, which I'm aware some individuals of the AMC stock community, they do not agree with the fundamentals of AMC because they believe that AMC stock should never be about the fundamentals. But the fact that we have someone that comes from a fundamental standpoint is actually agreeing that AMC is worth almost $60 a share, this is extremely bullish for the entire movement. And we should be using this to build our conviction, because not only do we have conviction in the movement and the strength and the resilience of our movement, but we also have a certified financial advisor, or a CFA, on our side. This is absolutely bullish. So let's just start and continue. So AMC is worth a good deal more at $58 a share, present losses or not. So regarding the losses it has right now or not. And so with the company poised to eventually make positive cash flow, AMC stock is worth some 32% higher. And so AMC stock is still worth quite a bit more than the price it is at today. And this is based on my belief that the company will eventually become free cash flow positive before debt payments. I believe that AMC stock is worth around $58 a share based on the company's recent earnings release and analyst revenue projections. And remember, AMC stock family, even if this author believes that AMC stock is worth $58 a share, this will be beneficial to the general movement and most likely the entire movement, just because the all-time highs for AMC was around $72 a share. So as long as we get higher to that $72 share price, which, as we will continue reading, this author actually does believe that AMC will reach its all-time highs and even go higher. The closer we get to that all-time highs, the better, just because no one was able to buy AMC stock higher than $72 a share. So that means that once we get closer to that $72 share price, that means the entire AMC stock community will be winning officially, and everyone should be celebrating because this movement has been unmatchable. We are comparing the AMC equity to stocks like Netflix and Roku, and AMC stock has much more volume. AMC has about 52 million shares being traded on the daily, whereas Netflix and Roku, they have an estimated about 10 million shares being traded on a day-to-day basis. So just keep that in perspective. And so also continuing on, this author decides to say that I've been consistently right about AMC stock so far, based on this model and my projections. For example, when AMC stock was at $34.62 on July 19th, I argued that its minimum price was $39.42 per share using a probability analysis technique. We do have a trading strategy being used because, as I mentioned, he is a CFA, and so a lot of CFAs, they do have a lot of trading models, and they base many of their trades off of mathematical computations and algorithms. And not only that, he also mentions his credibility by saying that he has been consistently right about AMC stock, and this would make sense if he is using some sort of trading algorithm like the one he mentions right here, a probability analysis technique. And so on September 1st, the stock closed at almost $44 a share. He also mentions that that is not all. Without the probability analysis method, I actually also estimated that its minimum value was at $48.37. This was using a 1% free cash flow yield metric on an estimated free cash flow of $372.5 million next year. Again, $372.5 million next year, 2022. And so based on its second quarter earnings report, I believe this company can produce positive free cash flow next year. Here's why, and here's where it gets even better. So AMC stock, where things stand right now. Well, for quarter two, AMC reported sales of $444.7 million, up from $18.9 million in quarter two of 2020, but down from $1.5 billion in quarter two of 2019. And while this does make a lot of sense, this revenue was significantly higher than the quarter one 2021 revenue of $148.3 million. This means that revenue rose by almost $300 million in quarter two. In addition to this though, AMC's adjusted earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization was negative $150.8 million in quarter two of 2021. Moreover, the free cash flow for quarter two of 2021 was negative $251.7 million. That's the bad news. And essentially, he does also mention that the good news is that this is still an improvement from the results in quarter one of 2021. For example, the adjusted earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization was worse at negative 294.7 million in quarter 1. Likewise, free cash flow was negative 324.8 million. In other words, as revenue grew by almost 300 million, free cash flow grew by 73.1 million. This implies that the inherent free cash flow margin this quarter was 24.7%. Which also coincides with the point I made in my previous article about AMC having a positive cash flow margin. That is how I came up with a 372.5 million free cash flow estimate for 2022. Analysts now estimate that revenue next year will hit 4.6 billion. So even assuming a 10% cash flow from operations margin less 150 million in capex, free cash flow will hit 310 million. This, however, is somewhat lower than my previous estimate. And so what is AMC stock worth? If we use a 1% free cash flow yield metric, then AMC Entertainment will be worth 31 billion. This is seen by dividing 310 million in estimated free cash flow next year at a 10% margin by 1%. The result is 32.4% higher than the recent market value than 23.4 billion. In other words, AMC stock is worth 32.4% higher, which would equate to $57.84 per share. Granted, this is lower than my higher estimate of $73 in July, but it also seems possible that that could eventually happen. Now, why would this be? Well, that is because the quarter 2 improvement in free cash flow was a significant portion, about 24%, of its quarter-to-quarter gain in sales. So eventually, the free cash flow margin could end up trending higher. He does also mention a counter-argument by saying that this is not to say that the company will not have to raise more equity. After all, it is still burning through cash, but if AMC can last, the overall free cash flow margins it can produce, because it has in the past, will deliver the company. And then last but not least, what to do with AMC stock? Well, Adam Aron, the CEO of AMC Entertainment, made no secret of his desire to raise more equity capital during the recent quarter 2 conference call. Most analysts are focusing on the dilutive effects this will have on AMC stock. However, not too many of them are focusing on the possibility of AMC returning to free cash flow positive status next year. If this happens, the stock won't stay at its present price. Rather, AMC stock could move to around $58 per share or higher. So it's likely that AMC stock takes a hit when a new equity capital announcement comes about. If that was confusing, we have another piece of due diligence that'll help us understand in the near term what AMC stock can do, and can AMC investors hold the $40 support level. Well, AMC stock is still bullish, failing to break below the $40 level, and AMC fell on Friday as employment report hit the markets. AMC needs to break $48 to create further momentum. And so what I want to talk about in this article is that they do mention that the market cap for AMC is at $22.4 billion, and AMC so far has held above this breakout level at $40 a share, and the next level in order for AMC stock to go higher is going to be $48 a share. This is extremely important because this article does mention the $48 share price level a lot, and so this article actually focuses more on technical analysis rather than any fundamental news like in the previous article. So if we try to understand the technical analysis, this author mentions that your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to help AMC get above $48 a share and continue higher. Once it's through $48 a share, the volume profile bars shrink, meaning that less resistance and the possibility that the move can accelerate. Going above $48 a share will allow AMC to go to $60 a share. And remember, nothing is ever certain or guaranteed in the stock market. But again, it does seem likely that AMC will go to $60 a share from this author as long as AMC goes above $48 a share, and this is also mentioned in the chart right here. As AMC breaks its $48 share price level, that will create a resistance breakout, allowing AMC to go all the way back up to $60 a share, which was almost at its all-time highs of $72 a share. I also want to just quickly mention that a lot of investors, a lot of analysts, they were actually waiting for AMC. Since we are talking about the technical analysis, they were actually waiting for AMC to go to $20 a share. And so why might this be? Well, if we take a look on the 1-year 1-day chart, which is the preferable chart because you will be able to understand any underlying equity much better than the simple 1-day 1-minute chart or the 5-day 5-minute chart, because there really is not a lot to understand from these candlesticks. However, if we decide to go back to the daily chart or the 1-year 1-day chart, then that is where we start to understand the better idea. And so with this, we understand that from this one technical indicator, which I also understand that not many people are fans of technical indicators, but at the end of the day, as I mentioned just a few seconds ago, since we are talking about the technical analysis, a lot of people were waiting on $20 a share because this used to be an insane resistance level. This was at approximately $20 a share. However, now it is going to be the support level, and this is right where the line is. So a lot of people were waiting right when AMC was right around this consolidation box or this zone that we were drawing for quite a while throughout basically the entire middle of August and the beginning of August up until the end of August, the last 2 weeks. That is when we end up breaking out of this zone. but it did take some time. And the resistance of this box was at $38 a share. However, the support level for this box, the consolidation box, was actually at about $30 a share. And so many were waiting for a break below $30 a share because they thought AMC was going to go to $20 a share. So I just want to let you guys know about this. However, this is a type of fear, the uncertainty, and doubt. And again, this is all about the noise that we as the AMC stock family and the community, and also being a part of the movement, we must block out this noise. So regardless of if there is any bearish news, which in this video, we barely mentioned any bearish news, but if there were ever to be bearish news surrounding the technical analysis of a stock, make sure you guys block out the noise if that follows and if that aligns with their plan, because everyone has their own plan for any underlying equity. So I just want to let you guys know that this was a possibility that many were pointing to. They wanted AMC stock to go to $20 a share. With the AMC stock movement, the AMC resilience, we just continued to buy and hold, and now the stock did not break $30 a share, but is now at $44.02 a share. And so with that being said, AMC stock family, that's going to do it for today's video. If you have any questions, make sure you guys leave it down in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next video.